potentially deadly tornado is on the ground. To protect your life, take cover now. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If in a mobile home, a vehicle, or outdoors, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. Take basement or storm shelter now. Tornadoes are difficult to see and confront at night.
And about the same time, power flashes reported by emergency management in Butler County to the northeast of El Dorado. So that does confirm that the tornado is still on the ground northeast of El Dorado and heading up the Kansas Turnpike toward the Cassidy area. Ross?
And Merrill, using some of our other radar technology here in the office, we're really investigating this storm in Ellsworth County pretty close because we've got some pretty strong rotation showing up now just to the north of Geneseo here. We haven't been able to confirm anything on the ground with this storm, but basically to the south of Ellsworth, this would be Highway 14 that goes south out of Ellsworth here to the north of Geneseo. We really have some very impressive signatures on radar showing us the rotation now that's to the north of town. And because it's dark, if there is a tornado on the ground, we just may not be getting confirmation.
And we're going to move away from Ross Jansen right now and go out to our KFDI mobile units.
Mark Lavoie and Mobile 21 at 47th Street South in Clifton, where we have some massive damage in this area. I've seen some power lines down, a very large utility pole that is leaning at a 45-degree angle. Massive damage to a number of structures in this area. Very difficult to get any specific details on what I'm seeing here because it is very dark and the power is out in this location. I see a lot of people, residents down here in the Oaklawn area, who are moving tree limbs and trying to get some cleaning up done in their neighborhoods already. And no word yet on anybody being hurt down here. We hope that is not the case. So far, we are just keeping a close eye on the cleanup operations that are going down here. We're going to try and get an opportunity to speak with a person or two if we get a chance to. Right now, though, some pretty heavy damage down here in the Oaklawn neighborhood, just southeast of Wichita. Let's check with Will Day now. He's in Mobile 27. Right now, I'm southbound on K-15, coming up on 31st Street South. There is a lot of traffic out right now, and that is not a good thing. If you are hoping to go out and sight-see some of this damage, don't. You need to go home. You're only going to get in the way of emergency personnel. Right now, there is no word on any injuries in Oaklawn. We don't know if people are trapped. That could be a possibility. People trapped inside of homes. People seriously injured. People that need medical attention. And emergency equipment needs to get into the area. So if you are out, if you're hoping to sightsee, just go home. You're only getting in the way at this point and causing traffic problems. So definitely, if you just are out and about and don't need to be out, go ahead and head home. Let's check in with George Lawson at Mobile 24. I'm at 13th and Greenwich Road. Traffic signals out here, power out to this area. I do see some lights on here and there. Those could be emergency lights. And I've seen traffic signals out also along Rock Road, Kellogg, Central, 13th even. And some of the power may be back on in some areas. I'm seeing some lights off to my west here as I drive south on Greenwich Road. But mostly just tree limb damage for the most part. The heaviest damage is going to be in southeast Wichita And I mentioned earlier power lines down across the intersection at Harry and Webb Road. Avoid that area. I would say that intersection is impassable, especially going east-west, and very likely north-south as well, because there is a power pole that's snapped off and is in the intersection there at Harry and Webb Road. I've seen some debris in the road there as well. A lot of emergency vehicles, police cars, fire squad trucks, even fire engines with flashing lights heading toward the trouble areas. And I see one here coming up at Kellogg and Greenwich. A big fire engine that's going to the west. Looks like it's turning south on Greenwich Road now. So try to avoid these areas in east and southeast Wichita because of the power outages and the damage, power lines across roadways in some areas. Let's go to John Wright in Mobile 22.
Now K254 headed back from the Kansas Turnpike in El Dorado area, where it looked like just a tremendous storm continues to churn its way up north along the Turnpike from El Dorado up to Cassidy. Didn't want a chance at getting out of communication, so peeled off of that storm. We headed back to Wichita to help cover some of the damage stories that are coming out of there. But right now, still quite a powerful storm in the north of the El Dorado area. In Mobile 22, John Wright, KFDI News.
And Dylan, in the 24-hour KFDI Weather Center, a tornado warning remains in effect for Butler County until 11:30. Just a few more minutes. The time is 11:26. And this storm has dropped baseball-sized hail. It, at last check, was about 6 miles northeast of El Dorado, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. The tornado warning for northwestern Rice County has been canceled. Also in central Ellsworth County, just a few more moments for a tornado warning there. At last check, the tornado was located 6 miles north of Geneseo, moving to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. Now let's go down south of the state line to Oklahoma, where the National Weather Service office in Norman, Oklahoma, is watching thunderstorms along a line extending from 8 miles northwest of Freedom to about 7 miles northwest of Coyle, moving to the east at about 50 miles an hour. Now, this long line of storms that is heading our direction is stretching from all the way up from southern Butler, or make that southern Barton County, down through Stafford, a portion of Pratt, into Kiowa, Comanche counties, and then into western Oklahoma. And on your KFDI Midwest Roofing Services storm alert map, this area is located from Stafford County, which would be at M10 all the way down to I-17, M10 to I-17 on your storm alert map. The National Weather Service says that these storms have severe winds gusting over 55 miles an hour and large hail. And these storms are moving, as I mentioned, to the east at 50 miles an hour. More information to pass along. This is an update on this is a new warning for northeastern Butler County, southeastern Chase, and northern Greenwood County. A confirmed tornado located 10 miles northeast of El Dorado, moving to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. People in Cassidy, around Matfield Green on the Kansas Turnpike, and in the community of Matfield Green, along with Hamilton and Thrall, are in the path of this thunderstorm as it moves through northeastern Butler, southeastern Chase, and northern Greenwood County. This is a tornado warning until 12:15 tomorrow morning. And now a tornado warning has been issued for northeastern Ellsworth, southeastern Lincoln, and northwestern Saline County. This is in effect until 12:15. A confirmed tornado located near Canopolis State Park, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. Now let's get back closer to Wichita and go out to our KFDI mobile units.
This is George Lawson in Mobile 24, and the police are blocking traffic on Greenwich Road south of Central. There's some damage, it looks like, by the Hawker Beechcraft plant. Now, it looks like it's on Central. I don't know if the plant itself is involved, but it did look like there was some damage along Greenwich Road there. It was in the roadway. And south of Central on Greenwich, they are blocking traffic southbound, and it looks like northbound as well. A lot of police activity there. and police and fire activity. You've been seeing fire engines and fire squad trucks with lights and sirens going around this area. Also, Harry and Webb Road, power lines down there, and that intersection is impassable. Traffic signals out at 13th and Greenwich. Traffic signals out here at Central and 127th East. That's where I'm at now. And you have to treat these intersections as a four-way stop as you come to them. Traffic signals have also been out along Rock Road, along from Harry to Kellogg up to Central and even 13th. I've seen a lot of tree limbs down, power pole snapped at Harry and Webb Road, some debris in the road there. Tree branches down here around Central and 127th East. So this storm has really done quite some damage here. I'm seeing a little bit more debris here along 127th East, tree limb damage and that sort of thing as I continue to drive to the south. Let's go to John Wright in Mobile 22.
And right now we're on Greenwich Road, heading toward the south off of K254 to hopefully getting around the area where we understood a quick trip was hit on Rock Road. So we're trying to make our way over in that area. But if you're traveling on the Kansas Turnpike, there's three areas to watch out for because of debris that landed on the turnpike from structures hit by this tornado, anywhere from the South Wichita gate all the way up to the Tawanda Service Center. So heads up along those areas. You'll see some lumber, some insulation, some possible wiring, and just unless the KDOT crews got there to remove those items. But other than that, just be careful as you're traveling up toward the north on the turnpike in those areas.
I'm at Douglas and looks like Douglas and Greenwich, and police have got the streets blocked here. Kansas Highway Patrol troopers helping out as well. Looks like some major damage here around the Hawker Beechcraft plant, trying to get a good look at it. And mostly what I've seen has been tree limbs that are down, and some large trees that have been knocked down. I see some people out with flashlights checking on their homes and trying to assess the damage that way. It's hard to tell if there's been any damage here to the Hawker plant itself, but police are blocking the street here and blocking traffic on Greenwich Road between Central and Kellogg. In Mobile 24, I'm George Lawson.
Now let's go to KFDI's Kyle McCaskey. Kyle, what can you tell us about what you found out?
Dan, we did have a report of some police in the area of Harry and Webb. As far as we understand, there some damage to some apartment complexes there. Also, there's a Dillon's located there, some shopping carts thrown across the street, things such as that. Also, spoke to a woman in the 7500 block of South Ida Street. That's in Hayesville. She had a report of trees uprooted in her neighborhood and a tornado passing near there. Some structural damage to her home and across the neighborhood there. And also just a report from the Red Cross. They are monitoring the situation and are assessing it and preparing to deploy their shelter locations as necessary. This is Kyle McCaskey at the KFDI Storm Desk.
All right, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that information, and I appreciate everything that the Mark, John, George, and Will are going through, driving through some of the damage to get you information about what has happened so far when it comes to the tornado that has struck the south part of Wichita and over into east Wichita and then into the Andover area. Now, with darkness like this, you're going to be able to find out a lot more about the damage tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of people out tonight trying to find out about the damage. And as you heard from Will and heard from Mark Lavoie, please stay away from these areas. Let the emergency personnel get in and do what they need to do. Do not clog traffic. Do not try to go down there and see anything now. In fact, when it's daylight tomorrow, stay away. Don't go down there then. Just watch Channel 12 if you want to see what's happening. To get the information, you can listen to KFDI, and we'll be able to give you the information about what you need to know. Now, the time is 11:36. The tornado warning continues for northeastern Butler, southeastern Chase, and northern Greenwood counties until 12:15. Also a tornado warning for northeastern Ellsworth, southeastern Lincoln, and northwestern Saline County until 12:15. There is a few minutes left on a severe thunderstorm warning for 7 counties to the west of us: northwestern Barber, extreme north-central Comanche, southeastern Edwards, eastern Kiowa, southeastern Pawnee, all of Pratt, and all of Stafford County. That's in effect until 11:45. Now, the tornado warning does remain in effect for northeastern Ellsworth, southeastern Lincoln, and northwestern Saline counties until 12:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Brookville, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. People who live in Salina, Glendale, and around the Salina airport are in the path of this storm.
From the KFDI Weather Center, this is a tornado warning. Repeat, this is a tornado warning.
A tornado warning remains in effect for southeastern Chase, northeastern Butler, and northern Greenwood counties until 12:15. A confirmed tornado was 5 miles southeast of Cassidy, moving to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. People in and around Matfield Green, Hamilton, and Thrall are in the path of this storm. Once again, a tornado warning in effect for southeastern Chase, northeastern Butler, and northern Greenwood counties until 12:15. Now, let's go back farther to the west. We have a long line of storms that continues to track north and east. In fact, these storms are moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. They stretch from all the way up to Ellsworth County, down into western Oklahoma, way down by Roger Mills County in Oklahoma. And on your KFDI storm alert map, this area would be located from M8 down to K16, M8 to K16 on your KFDI Midwest Roofing Services storm alert map. Let's talk more about that weather to the west of us. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for extreme north-central Pratt County and all of Stafford County until 12:30. National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing destructive hail of up to 2 inches in diameter and damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. The storm is located near St. John and moving to the northeast at about 45 miles an hour. Locations impacted include St. John, Stafford, Hudson, Zenith, and mainly rural areas of northern Pratt and Stafford counties. This warning replaces the previous warning that was in effect, and of course this whole area, including Wichita and Sedgwick County, is under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. We're going to be going out to the mobile units here in just a little bit. Let's go out to them now. Here's our KFDI mobile units.
This is George Lawson in Mobile 24. Power back on along Rock Road. Signals are working again at 13th Central and also Kellogg, and I can see farther to the south. So they've got the traffic lights working again. But I also see flashing lights, emergency vehicles still working on some situations. They are blocking traffic south of Central on Greenwich. And that looks like a down power line from what I could see. There may be some trees down there as well, but certainly looks like a power line down across Greenwich Road, and that's why they are blocking traffic there. Also problems at Harry and Webb Road, and it sounds like they're setting up to steer traffic away from that. Power lines down across that intersection. In fact, the power lines are still hanging across the intersection. They're so low, there's no way you'd even be able to drive under it if you'd even want to try to do that. So avoid the intersection of Harry and Webb Road. I'm seeing emergency lights here just south of Kellogg on Rock, and a fire engine with its red lights flashing. And we're still getting a lot of emergency activity down here on South Rock Road. Let's go to Mark Lavoie in Mobile 21. In South Wichita right now, the intersection of 47th Street South and Hydraulic, where I'm in the middle of a traffic jam, unfortunately. A lot of folks out in this neighborhood right now. Hard to say what they're all doing down here. I had to basically leave the Oaklawn area. It was getting so crowded down there, I was afraid I was going to get stuck in that area and not be able to leave. So basically, some of the damage that I've seen so far tonight, a lot of tree limbs down in the Oaklawn neighborhood. This is John Wright at Mobile 22. We're here at the Harry and Webb Road, and we've got a mess right here at this intersection with, from what it looks like, these light poles, traffic signage, all leaning in one direction, not a swirl, but there may even be what might be an appliance in the middle of the intersection, or at least on the southeast side of the intersection. There's bags from the nearby grocery store that are strewn about the parking lot. The cart racks are all twisted and overturned. And as you can hear in the background, Wichita police are arriving not only to direct traffic, but to make sure that no one goes into these down power lines that are across this intersection. So follow the directions for law enforcement to make sure you don't wind up in a serious situation with an electrical shock. But for the most part, from what we can see anyway, the Dillons here does have at least a porch light on. Can't quite tell what's inside, but the Walgreens, the power is out. The Quick Trip on that southeast corner is out. Don't know about the apartment complexes over toward the north and the east, but it looks like they may also have a power outage as well. But there's a lot of emergency personnel circulating around this area, so be mindful as you head out and about this area. Go on home. Don't try to sightsee out here. In Mobile 22, John Wright, KFDI News.
Dan Dillon in the 24-hour KFDI Weather Center. The tornado warning for northeastern Butler County has been canceled. The storm has moved out of the area. A tornado warning, though, remains in effect for southeastern Chase and northwestern Greenwood counties until 12:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 7 miles southeast of Matfield Green, moving to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. People who live in and around Thrall are in the path of this storm now. Once again, a tornado warning in effect for southeastern Chase and northwestern Greenwood counties until 12:15 this morning. Taking a quick look at some of the information we have for you on northeastern Ellsworth and southeastern Lincoln and northwestern Saline counties. The time is 11:51, and a tornado warning remains in effect for these counties until 12:15. A confirmed tornado about 5 miles northeast of Brookville, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. Also extreme north central Pratt County and south central Kansas and Stafford County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:30. Now let's go to KFDI's Kyle McCaskey, who's at the storm desk.
Just a few damage reports here. A damage to a mobile home park in southeast Wichita, the Panera Mobile Home Park. I'm not sure of the extent of damage there, but word is that there is damage there. Also had some reports of some possible building collapses, one in the 1700 block of South Cypress, and also in the 8200 block of East Pawnee Street at the Cherry Creek Retirement Home. We cannot confirm those, but we did have reports of those. Also had reports of 3-foot diameter trees down or maybe uprooted in El Dorado that's causing damage to some homes and some vehicles. And also as far as some energy, some electric issues, 17,000 people still without power in the area. For Sedgwick County, 15,000 of 15,000 outages, and over 1,000 in Butler. If you do find down power lines, you're being asked to call 1-800-LIGHT-KS. Again, do not touch the power lines. Don't actually try and help anyone that may have touched a power line, because you could actually put yourself in danger. Again, if you find an incident like this, call 1-800-LIGHT-KS. And as far as the emergency crews, it's been said by the mobile units quite a bit, but it should be stressed over and over again. Please, no sightseers, pedestrians, people driving around in the damaged areas. The emergency crews are doing their best to try and to clean up these areas, and they need as quick of access as they possibly can to these areas. This is Kyle McCaskey at the KFDI Storm Desk.
An update now from the National Weather Service. The tornado warning for southeastern Lincoln County has been canceled. A tornado warning continues for northwestern Saline County until 12:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 6 miles north of New Cambria, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. This includes I-70 between mile markers 236 and 256 and Interstate 135 between mile markers 89 and 95. So we're going to get ready to return you to regular programming on our 3 radio stations, 92.3, True Oldies 1070, and of course KFDI-FM. But before we do that, let's one more time go back for a report from our KFDI mobile units.
This is George Lawson in Mobile 24, and they are blocking traffic south of 31st Street South on Oliver, damage at Spirit Aero Systems. Also, they're blocking traffic south of Harry on Rock Road. Police blocking traffic in a number of areas. Signals have been out at some locations, 31st South and Hillside, 31st South and Oliver. Traffic signals out there. They are back on Rock Road at Kellogg and Central and 13th. So, and power is back on for some areas of East Wichita, but there are still some other areas where power is still out, and they are blocking traffic south of Central on Greenwich Road. A power line down there apparently by the Hawker Beechcraft plant, and it looks like power is out in that area as well. A lot of tree limbs down. I've seen a lot of tree debris in the streets, and you really have to be careful if you don't be out sightseeing in this. If you're on your way home, watch out for tree limbs down. I've seen a lot of large tree limbs and even some trees that have been snapped, some power poles snapped around South Wichita from this storm. Let's go to Will Day in Mobile 27. Right now I have just left the Oaklawn area. I'm traveling south of McConnell Air Force Base on 47th Street South. I can see that there are trees and other debris and other items on the runway of McConnell. So it looks like the runway to McConnell is shut down. No planes will be able to land. Of course, I doubt many are out at the moment. But McConnell Air Force Base, it does look like the runway is out of commission for the time being due to debris on the runway.
Mark, we heard earlier about a quick trip at Pontiac Rock that was hit, and we did try to get into that area, but it's blocked off with law enforcement and fighters, and probably off of Pawnee as well. So no one's going to get in there. There's no telling what may have happened there. We've heard word of mouth from anywhere, partly damaged, completely wiped out. From the talk on the street for folks that were in the area over there by Harry and Webb Road, dealing with an intersection that has the electric lines down. And Westar Energy expects these lines to come down, whether it's in a severe thunderstorm or due to equipment failure or a traffic accident. What Westar Energy wants residents in the area to do, if you have a down line, call 1-800-LIGHT-KS or 1-800-544-4857 and dial 911 immediately. Also, do not touch that line. Always assume it is live. And if you see someone touching a line, don't try to rescue them, because you could yourself become a victim. And if a power line falls on your car while you're in it, stay in your car and wait for help. You're probably grounded with the tires and your tennis shoes or some kind of shoes that you have on your feet to keep you from being shot in that type of situation. So Westar is alert to the situation, and they're trying to pass along, and we read that almost word for word, that the information that they sent to us to make sure that you stay safe in times like this. In Mobile 22, John Wright, KFDI News.
Dan Dillon in the 24-hour KFDI Weather Center. Most of the tornado warnings have now been canceled or will be allowed to expire. Warnings like the one for northwestern Saline County, southeastern Chase, northwestern Greenwood counties is also expired. The severe thunderstorm warning for Pratt and Stafford County has been canceled, and the tornado warning for northeastern Ellsworth County has been canceled. Let's bring in KWC, Kyle McCaskey now at our storm desk. Kyle?
First, a couple quick weather notes. While some of these cancellations are happening, there is still significant weather advisory for Ellsworth, Reno, and Rice counties until 12:45 a.m. Again, Ellsworth, Reno, and Rice counties are still under significant weather advisories. As far as some of the damage reports, a search and rescue is happening at Harry and Pawnee. Not sure the exact reason for that, but emergency crews are asking people to avoid that area again at Harry and Pawnee. And also, as far as Oaklawn, a lot of damage there. Several injuries have been reported from damage at a trailer park there. However, we haven't heard of any significant injuries or any specific injuries. However, people are being asked to avoid that area again. There's also, along with down power lines, possibilities of gas leaks and just a lot of debris in that area. And emergency crews continue to work that area, so if you're out sightseeing, it needs to be reiterated, please avoid that area and let the emergency crews work. As far as some of the electric outages, about 17,000 are still without power in the area. 15,000 of those are coming from Sedgwick County and over 1,000 in Butler. However, those numbers have decreased significantly over the past hour as Westar is doing a great job trying to restore power. Just a reminder that if you do see down power lines, do not touch them. And if a line is down, call 1-800-LIGHT-KS. Again, that's 1-800-LIGHT-KS. This is Kyle McCaskey from the KFDI Storm Desk.
Okay, thank you, Kyle, and thank you, everyone out in the mobile units tonight. This information now just in from Norman, Oklahoma. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Alfalfa County in Oklahoma, along with Ellis, Harper, Major, Woods, and Woodward counties in Oklahoma until 1:15. Flood warnings in effect for northern Butler County until 2 in the morning. And also there's a flood warning for eastern Ellsworth and northern Rice County, along with all of Saline and southeastern Barton County until 4:15. We're going to return you to regular programming. We will, of course, remain in the KFDI newsroom, and we'll have news units out there, and we'll be joining you again at 1 o'clock, if not before, with the latest information on this tornado outbreak that has caused us all to remember the date of April 13th of 2012. We'll have more weather information for you a little bit later this morning in the 24-hour KFDI Weather Center. I'm Dan Dillon.